Was Muhammad ﷺ a Jew slaughterer, since he approved of the slaughtering of 600 to 700 Jews after the Banu Quraysh invasion?
Well, again, let's go back to this issue of Banu Qurayza and see what kind of people they were. See how they was dealing with the Prophet ﷺ before he fought them. See how they was dealing with him while he fought them. See what they was doing. See what they was doing behind his back. See what plotting they were doing. You see, they was cutting between. They was giving out messages. They was working with the enemy while smiling in his face. They had a treaty with him, but they were violating the treaty. And the Prophet ﷺ was warned by Allah of what they were doing. Even their plan was to kill the Prophet ﷺ. Their plan was to kill the Muslims. Their plan was always to undermine Islam. We don't say the Jews, and this is what I want Muslims to understand. We do not curse the Jews, and we do not have hatred for Jews. No, Jews are part of the people Allah calls Ahl al-Kitab. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned among the Ahl al-Kitab, the people that are nearest to us in love is the people who call themselves Nasara. And the ones who is the most hatred towards us is the people who say that we are Yahuds. But not all the Yahuds is like that. And what we should do is we should not cover them with one blanket. When you meet a Yahudi, don't say, oh, they're the enemies of Allah. No, brothers, this is wrong. Because there are many Yahudis who will become Muslims if the behavior of Muslims are correct. But the people who call themselves Zionists, these is the pigs of the earth. These are the enemies of Allah. They are the enemies of Jibreel alayhi salam. They are the enemies of the deen and the enemies of the believers. And they were the enemies of the prophets and the murderers and plotters against the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah, He will deal with them as He dealt with them before, whether through our hands or through the hands of some other servants of His. But Jews and Zionists are different. Not all Jews are Zionists, and not all Zionists are Jews. So Muslims need to get it. Just like all Muslims are not Arabs, and all Arabs are not Muslims. And all Muslims do not support terrorism. In fact, so don't do what they do and put us under one blanket, and don't put them under one blanket. Let's be fair. So Banu Qurayza, okay, was assaulted by the Prophet ﷺ. It was sieged by the Prophet ﷺ, and they were taken hostage by the Prophet ﷺ. And because they were rebellious, the Prophet ﷺ punished them in the way Allah ordered them to be punished. And sometimes the punishing is by death, because even today they still have in America death penalty, right? Death penalty. So in the last 30 years, how many people in America died by death penalty? Thousands. Is that right? So don't be blaming the Prophet ﷺ. Y'all killed criminals and gave them the death penalty. The Prophet ﷺ, he killed some of the Banu Qurayza and gave them death penalty. So don't be hating on him when y'all did the same thing.